Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast in a game between Empire's Kaz versus EG Puma here on Terminus Ray. I really wanted to cast this game because, well, Terran versus Terran, one of those mirror matches that I don't really cast that often, and now that we're going to have some changes with Blue Flame Hellions in the near future, after patch 1.4, I think this matchup will change up a little bit, and I wanted to see whether or not these players are trying to adapt to new strategies already. You can see Kaz spawning over here on the right-hand side of the map as the light blue Terran. Meanwhile, Puma spawning as the lighter blue Terran over here on the left side of the map. This is going to be a full cross spawn, Terran versus Terran. As always, I will leave out the production tab for you so you guys can see what exactly is going down between these two players. Now, if you guys do not know or have not heard of Kaz, you probably have not been listening to my shoutcast for more than a year, because Poker Off Kaz, or Kaz, has been playing Warcraft 3 for quite some time, and in this matchup, I'm not really quite sure who to root for. And normally when I cast the game, I just want to see a great game, but there's someone that I want to put a little bit more energy to. I know I'm supposed to be unbiased as a caster, something I will work on, as we now see Puma opening up with a gas first here on Terminus. A rather unusual build. Perhaps we will see the strange build that TLO pulled off against another Zerg player by going that gas first. I haven't seen gas first in quite some time. Maybe if you wanted to go for very, very fast Banshees, a strategy that has really come back full circle. A lot of Protoss players in the past would always go Robotics Facility, always get that early Observer because they were scared of that Banshee. Because of that, the Terran players are like, well, if you're going to go for that Robotics Facility, I might as well not go for that Banshee. And then eventually, well, if you're not going to go for the Banshee, I'm not going to go for the Robotics Facility. And that's really what happens in a lot of the metagames when the casters talk about metagames or the current playstyles. It's one of those things where different openings and different strategies call for different things. So we'll see whether or not that will be perhaps a fast Banshee, or I may just be jumping the gun there, as Puma is getting a rather faster factory. He is hurting, I believe, a little bit in his economy. No, he is actually ahead in his economy right now, but he is a little bit delayed with his mules, so he doesn't have that mule right now. I take it back, he is a little bit behind there, as now the scouting has begun. I'm still a little surprised that Puma has not taken this second refinery yet. Normally, if you're going to go for early gas, might as well go all the way. Puma now getting up this factory here. We are going into a Reaper now from Kaz, though. So Kaz perhaps going for a Reaper expansion. Yes, he is going for a Reaper expansion here on the low ground. And if he can fend this off against any early harassment, it will be fairly effective. One Marine now down on the low ground. We are going into that starport. We should be adding on a tech lab any second. There is that tech lab, but the problem is the amount of gas that Puma really needs to gather. He'll be able to get a Banshee up, but with one Banshee, he's not going to have Cloak. It's also going to really depend on whether or not Kaz gets enough Marines. And it does look like Kaz will be getting enough Marines here. Of course, I could be completely mistaken, and he could be trying to go for some sort of early medevac play, which would be absolutely strange. The Reaper of Kaz now going to come inside the base, jumping along the backside, and pretty much get some free scouting now. Shutting down one SCV. SCV has been destroyed. Now going after another group of SCVs, pulling that precious mining time. SCVs are getting picked off. That Reaper has already gotten 2 kills. Will it get off a 3rd kill is the key question. It's looking for a low hit point unit. Will it find it? That Reaper down to 2 hit points, and it does get shot down. So both sides did take a bit of damage there. 2 workers versus 1 Reaper, but that is something that a lot of Terran players would gladly trade for, as SCVs are now being transferred to the low ground. So this is going to be a cloakless Banshee harassment, and the Banshees are not going to be able to cloak. We are going to have a Hellion now activate this Zelnaga tower here. There are going to be 4 Marines on the move, a much larger army coming in from Puma, but Puma has to be very careful, as there are some Marines also in the engagement as well. He needs to regather his units just a little bit and perhaps get a little bit more damage, as we are now getting that Banshee into the air. So what a strange assortment of units. 5 Marines, 2 Hellions, and a Banshee against 4 Marines. There are more Marines being trained up, but that missile turret desperately needs to be placed down. Those Hellions may be able to finish off a lot of those fleeing Marines. SCV is now coming out the mineral line. I do not think Kaz has enough to fight this off right now. as the Hellions may get off a nice line attack there. They are just lining up and gonna get shot down. More and more workers getting destroyed. And now Puma just walking in. He has one Banshee, these 6 Marines, and these 2 Hellions. Beautiful micro coming in and able to take this game. So a very nice play here by Puma. Puma just executed the strategy rather well. I'm not 100%. No, it doesn't look like he all in at all. He still has SCV. He still has SCVs still mining away. I think he was still training up. Yeah, you can see that he queued up a lot of SCVs in order to continue that production there. He does have a command center also being built as well. So this pressure, which was very effective, ended up completely destroying Puma. And normally the pressure isn't meant to destroy, it is just meant to do a bit of harassment, but Puma, seeing the vulnerability of his opponent, was just able to run straight through. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening, hope you guys enjoyed Game 1 in this series. Stay tuned for Game 2.